Aloha friend, I've designed a really fun movement flow using the squat as our returning pattern. So we're always going to return back into the squat. This could be used as a warm-up, a cool down, a just feel good movement. Remember, there never needs to be a big excuse or a big to-do about just feeling good, and I think this is going to make you feel good. First things first, learning some of the movements. Squat, we're just going to call, starting with heels at about shoulder width, keeping the chest high and keeping the weight balanced in the foot, squatting as low as I can without rounding my lower back, like going into a collapsed position. So that's our squat. Since it's body weight, you can have a little bit of wiggle room there. Things we want to avoid is the knees shooting straight in. So strong knee position is when we're pushing them out. So that's our squat. Our Jefferson curl, I'm going to show you from the side, and then we're going to get rocking. Jefferson curl is tipping one vertebrae down at a time. So imagine them stacked on top of each other, head to hips. I'm going to start with my head. Tick, 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 tick. And I'm going to just roll each vertebrae down. One at a time. I can bend my knees a little bit. I just did a lot of extra yard work and heavy work recently, so my hamstrings are screaming, so this is where I stop. And then I return back up one at a time. So now that you know what it looks like, let's start with our feet at hip or shoulder width, whatever feels right to you. Roll down. Tick, 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 tick. And here's where we get crazy. We're going to drop into the bottom of the squat and then stand up. One more. Roll down. Tick, 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 tick. Squat and stand. Wouldn't it be crazy if we could squat and then reverse it? So I'm going to send my hips back and up. Feeling amazing on my hamstrings. And roll it up. Open everything up. Let's do one more of those. Squat. And roll it up. Next one is a Kang squat, named after a weightlifter. I'll show you this one from the side because it's another, the useful information comes from the side shot. Hip hinge is when I essentially bow or send my hips back in a big way and bend my knees in a little way. So big bend, little bend. So the Kang squat starts with this hinge, and then we go into a squat, and then we go into the hinge and come out. So hinge, squat, hinge, stand up. Same way, just toying around with it a little bit. We could do a squat, hinge, ooh, feel those hamstrings, squat, and stand. I'll do another one. Squat, hinge, squat, and stand. And then my last one. I love this one. This is a relatively new one to me, which I was kind of surprised to figure out something new at this advanced stage of my game. So we're going to turn the feet to a 45-degree angle, ever so slightly. So this would be straight. This is to the side. Meet right in the middle, 45 or so, whatever feels right for you. First thing, kick out the hip. Bam. We're learning a windmill. Put the inside arm on the inside of the leg, and then allowing a little bit of the knee bend, but a big hip shift that way. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to come up. So this is our windmill. Trunks tight, and then switch sides. Hinge, hip pops. Oh, this feels good. It's another one that feels really good. Now, this one blew my mind. What I'm going to do is go into the bottom of the squat. And as I transition up and out, I'm not going to come all the way up, but I'm going to send myself into this windmill pattern. And then I squat down. And then send myself into this windmill. I feel a pretty big stretch on the outside of this hip, as well as the back of this leg. I can adjust it to feel it in slightly different places. Like if I don't go as far with the hip, but I do send my hips further back, I feel it more in this hamstring and this adductor. And this one, with these little foot adjustments, and then sending myself into a hinge, or excuse me, a windmill was so new to me. If you want to upgrade it a little bit, squat, come to the side, and then look up, which I think is going to feel really awesome as well. Hinge, open up. That's my tight side. You're going to have a, well, if you're a normal human like us, you're going to have a tight side and a loose side. Don't judge it. Just let it be. You are a beautiful human just the way you are. I'm a little out of breath, and that is one of my favorite squat movement flows.